Hi, friends. Once upon a silent night, there was a pastor at a little white church. It was Christmas Eve. It said that the snow fell softly and picturesquely from the sky, covering the ground, the trees, everything for miles around in a soft, fresh blanket of white. Outside, the air was brisk and chilly. Inside, the church was just beginning to warm up for the Christmas Eve service. But there was a problem. Inside that little white church on that quiet Christmas Eve, the organ refused to work. The year was 1818. The church was the Church of St. Nicholas in Oberndorf, Austria, just north of Salzburg and only a few miles from the Austrian-German border. The pastor, Father Joseph Moore, he was a young priest and he'd only been at the church for about a year. This was a serious problem. The organ at his little country church wasn't working. It was maybe due to mice or rust, no one really knows. There was no way that it could be repaired before Christmas. This is not the sort of issue a pastor wants to encounter on Christmas Eve. Father Moore tried everything he could think of to fix it. And he paused and prayed for inspiration. And he found the answer to his prayers in recalling a poem he had written almost 2 years before, said to have been inspired on a winter's walk from his grandfather's house to the church. But he'd never come up with a melody. So off he set to visit the church organist, Franz Gruber, and asked him to compose a melody to go with the poem. This is not the sort of task a music director wants on Christmas Eve. The instrument, not the organ, but a simple guitar. And just a few hours later, right after midnight, these two men stood in the front of the church and sang, Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, Silent Night, Holy Night. It will be remembered not only the next Christmas in their small village, but over 200 years later and all around the world. Silent Night has been translated into English about 50 years after that, and it was brought to America by German Methodist immigrants. More than 200 different versions of the song have been recorded. It's been translated into hundreds and hundreds of languages around the world. It's a song that has crossed borders and boundaries far beyond what Father Moore and Mr. Gruber probably envisioned that night. For example, you might already know that it was sung simultaneously in French, German, and English on Christmas Eve 1914 by soldiers in the trenches during the Christmas truce, chosen because it was the only carol that all the soldiers on both sides knew. It's a song that has come to embody reverence, sacredness, and above all, peace. And I know that we will miss singing this song together on Christmas Eve. I know the heartache of not being able to sit together and sing and raise our candles in the darkness. Friends, for the last 20 Christmas Eves, I have sat at the front of a sanctuary as an intern, a seminary student, a pastor, having the privilege of that vantage point leading God's people. The loss is deep, but I invite us to sing Silent Night nevertheless from our homes, remembering its genesis on a less than perfect Christmas Eve and the power of the story it shares. Christ, the Savior, is born into our less than perfect world and our less than perfect lives. Radiant beams from thy holy face with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Blessings and peace to you this day.